Are you ready to revolutionize the way you groom? Unlock the grooming system that changes everything? Well, you're in the right place, my friend. I am Amy Lee, and these are my exclusive 11 steps to groom any dog. The go-to dog grooming framework, and you landed on the right video. This is a repeatable, fail-proof formula to groom any dog with confidence. Streamlined coat prep, clipper work, scissoring, and finishing work for faster results. I'm going to take the guesswork out of grooming and give you a system that you can work with that delivers. This is an opportunity for you to learn a system that will transform the way you groom. You're going to walk away with a formula that makes every groom easier, faster, and more effective. Let's get to it. This video is your go-to grooming playbook, but if you want to hyper-focus on the specific steps I'll be demonstrating, be sure to watch this video first. It's designed for true beginners, and it walks through the same system I'm teaching you here, laying a strong foundation for everything that you're about to see. I'll link it in the description below. The first thing you gotta understand is you have to structure your grooms. Every successful grooming session follows the same 3 foundational phases: coat prep, clipper work, and scissor work. These categories give your grooming process structure, flow, and clarity, no matter what breed or coat type you're working with. By understanding and organizing your tools, products, and techniques with these 3 categories, you'll create a smoother experience for the dog and a more efficient, confident workflow for yourself. The first phase is coat prep. The coat prep category. This is the first and most important step in every grooming session. This phase includes the first 8 steps of my 11-step framework. Step 1, pre-brushing and pre-trimming if needed. So wait a minute, we're getting the dog in the tub. Why are we pre-brushing? Pre-brushing lifts and separates the coat. This allows the skin to be properly cleansed and hydrated through the shampoo and conditioning process in the tub. Now, when would we pre-trim? Pre-trimming is necessary to eliminate excess coat or mats that hinder effective bathing. And my rule of thumb is if I'm going to be removing more than 1 inch of coat for this haircut, I'm going to pre-trim before the bath, just to remove some excess coat. So in other words, if the coat's in poor condition, we're going to need to pre-trim. We're going to need to possibly take it short and get all the mats and tangles out of the coat before we bathe. But pre-trimming is not always the case. Some dogs we're able to easily just get them brushed and fluffed out so we can get them cleansed well in the tub and conditioned, and then pre-trimming would not be necessary, but it would be part of step 1 if we needed to pre-trim the dog. I like to use the Artero flexible head slicker brush. It's great for doing my pre-brushing or my finishing brushing when I'm preparing the dogs. This brush is great because it really works with you. It really does. And the idea of pre-brushing is to remove as much dead coat. It's coat that's just hanging in there. It's already kind of fallen out, but it's stuck in the coat, and you need to remove it before bathing. Step 2 is ear plucking, and this is only when necessary. Some dogs don't require it. The idea of ear plucking is to remove the hair only inside of the ear canal. That's it, because this can harbor bad things against the tender skin inside the ear. Be very careful and be very intentional when you're plucking the ears of a dog, but we always do this step right before we begin the shampooing and conditioning process. If we use ear powder and it's on the coat, it's going to wash out. And this is why ear plucking is step 2 before the bath. Step 3, shampoo and always condition every dog. Trust me on that one. I like to use products specific for the face. This is a facial cleanser called Tropiclean Spa Facial, and it's good at removing buildup and debris around the mouth and the eyes, but it's safe. So I'll use this on his face. I like to wash the face first and allow this product to just sit for a little bit because it's going to help to break down all that stuff around the mouth and the eye boogers. So we're going to let that sit while we shampoo the rest of the dog. Always over rinse after you shampoo and condition. Shampoo and conditioner both have a sit time. The shampoo should sit on the coat for about 3 minutes before rinsing so it can break down the dirt and grime, and conditioner should sit on the coat for about 5 minutes at least so it has time to hydrate the coat. Put the moisture back into the skin and coat. Find one shampoo and one conditioner that you like and that perform well. Rinse well from the coat and use them universally on every dog you groom. Yes, every coat, every breed, every dog. I'll link some products for you in the description below that I recommend and use daily in my grooming salon. Step 4, thoroughly towel dry the dog. I like to use absorber towels to remove as much excess water from the skin and coat as possible. This is going to significantly decrease our drying time. If you're not using absorber towels, they are linked in the description below, guys. This is a huge time saver. If you're a professional, you should have several of them, and you can wash them easily at the end of your day. And if you're just grooming your own dogs at home, this is a huge time saver, and be sure to pick up a couple for yourself. Next, step 5. Cleaning the ears. This step is deliberately after we have washed the dog, conditioned it, and towel dried the dog. The reason for this is in case any water may have crept inside the ears during the bathing process, this is going to flush it out. Gently wipe away ear canal buildup. This is Bark to Basics. That's my favorite ear cleansing solution. So using your safe pet ear cleansing solution and a cotton ball, you're going to repeat this until the ear is visibly clean. And don't forget to allow the dog to shake it out. Step 6. Trim the nails. Nails are less brittle after we bathe the dog, and the wet hair makes it easy for us to move it aside, move it out of the way for a clear view of visibility while we're trimming the nails. Trim the nails immediately after bathing when the dog is safely secured on the grooming table. Step 7. Drying the dog. Drying, force drying, fluff drying. We got to straighten this coat as much as possible. It's so important to ensure that the coat is fully dry and as straight as possible for precise clipper work and scissoring work. Step 8, and the final step of the coat prep category, is to thoroughly brush the entire coat one more time to ensure that it is completely free of tangles and mats. Use your comb to check your brushing work. Make sure you've brushed well enough. If your comb can glide through effortlessly, your coat prep is complete and you're ready for the next phase of grooming. If you're really interested in this framework, I have it put together in a PDF that I offer to only my channel members. I've posted the download on my community tab on Go Groomer on YouTube. So if you're a channel member, hop over there and download your free version of this framework, a gift from me to you. And if you're not a channel member, you can become one by clicking the join button. Step 9, the clipper work, and perform the clipper work in this specific order. Perform all the clipper work on the body first. It may be a different length than you're going to use on the legs, so perform all the clipper work on the body first, then move to the legs, then move to the clipper work on the head, and finally finish with all the sanitary clipper work. Breaking clipper work into focused sections, starting with the body, then moving to the tail, then the legs, then the head, and the ears, helps maintain flow and control and helps to balance your trim. Remember, you are creating a repeatable pattern, a repeatable set of steps that you can use on any dog. You need to always follow the same steps. Even if you plan to hand scissor the legs later, or if you're using a larger guard comb on the legs, do the body first, then move to the legs. Begin with the clipper work using the guard comb of your choice. This is going to save you time and it's going to establish a clear starting point for your scissor work. Switch your guard comb to whatever length you need for the head after you've finished the body and the legs. This is the perfect time for you to depack your blade. All these blades are going to collect hair particles inside the little teeth, and you have to periodically brush that out so you continue to produce nice smooth clipper work. And also check your blade to make sure it's not hot. If it is, you can cool it down with Anda's Cool Care or switch it for a cool number 10 blade. Connect the head and the ears to the body and the leg work, ensuring smooth transitions between these two areas. It gives your look a polished, symmetric finish that brings the entire trim together and pulls everything together perfectly. Now it's time to trim the sanitary areas, and you want to make sure your blade is cool and not hot. You could simply just switch out the blade for a cool blade. Sanitary clipper work includes the private areas, the corner of the eyes, where the ears connect to the head. Always use a 10 blade to minimize the possibility of irritation. A 10 blade is the safe choice in these areas. Performing this step last helps prevent over trimming with a short blade, and it ensures a clean, precise result. And last, we're going to shave the paw pads, but we save that for last. We can use a 10 blade, a 15 blade, or a 30 blade, and saving this step for the end helps prevent accidentally using a short blade on other areas of the dog that you wouldn't want to do that, and it ensures the safety and precision in your final finish work. And now we can move on to step 10, the scissor work. Perform all the scissor work only after all the clipper work is complete. It's very important for you to understand that completing all the clipper work first creates the foundational structure of the trim. And that's where the bulk of the hair removal happens, preparing the dog for precise scissor refinement. And by completing all the clipper work first before reaching for your shears, you set yourself up for a cleaner, faster, and more polished final groom. The scissor work is the finishing phase of the groom. It's where all the details come together. This category is about refining shape, perfecting symmetry, and giving the trim that clean, flawless look that clients love. And whether you're using straight, curved, blending shears, or chunker shears, this step showcases your skills and sets your work apart with a refined, professional finish. Good clipper work lays the foundation, but great scissoring is what elevates the entire groom. I like to use a combination of straight shears for precise lines, curved shears for rounded contours, and blending shears to seamlessly merge different lengths. And often you'll see me using a chunker shear, and that will be the last shear that I use to smooth down the coat texture, erase scissor lines, stuff like that. I like to separate my scissor work tasks by shear type. So this helps to stay focused and in control throughout the grooming process. I complete my straight shear work, then my curved shear work, then my blending shear work. Step 11. This is the last step. It's the easiest one. You wrap up the groom by gently blowing off any loose hairs with your HV dryer on the lowest setting, followed up with a final brush through and then a comb through to fluff the coat and ensure every detail is picture perfect. And this is how you bring it all together. This is your dog grooming foundation. Mastering the common pet trim is more than just learning a haircut. It's about building a solid grooming foundation that supports every dog you groom.